Okay, now we're going to actually go into your account settings for myTransactions, and there's a lot of good stuff in here that you guys can take advantage of. If you know what everything is, this will walk you right through it. So from your home page, all we're going to be doing is going into transactions, and you can just click right on message or click on transaction home. Transaction home is probably the best way to get there. And then my account is on the top right here. And all you do is you click on my account, and we'll start here on the right hand side here. You can actually get alerts via text or email or neither if you don't want to, but you can check this on. So attachment added. So if an attachment is added to a file, you can have an email or SMS, which would be your text message alert, contract signed, contract submitted, contract accepted, contract withdrawn, attachment signature required, agent invitations, message notifications. All of these categories you have the ability to turn on and off, and then you'd hit save once you're done. And I had the text on when I started. It was cool, but it does get a little bit overwhelming sometimes when you're doing testing, so that's just something to keep in mind. If you're doing a lot of testing, you'll get a ton of text, but it is cool as soon as your client signs something. So if I put in your contract signed, as soon as they sign it, I instantly get a text, and I could actually call them up and say, hey, I see you just signed that, and they'd probably be a little freaked out that you actually knew that, but it just shows you the power of this system. So that is the right hand side. Left hand side is where you're going to go in and change some of your information. If you want to change your password, obviously you'd have to know your current password, and if you do not know that, just click on the retrieve password down here below. This is the name that is going to be on the e-signature, and this is going to be your initials, so those are required. So make sure you put those in there for your signature. Secondary email, if you want to have on file, all notifications will also be sent to that email. So if you have a team, you have the option of under my teams of adding people, but if you want to have a backup email to get alerts to, you can add that secondary email. Add your phone number, fax number, website, change your time zone as well. So set all that up. And the next thing we would do, under the clause manager, this is something you're going to want to go into as well. Clause manager will, if there's certain forms or certain phrases that you use over and over and over again, like the county, you constantly use that county, you can insert them as a clause manager. Then you can pick them from a drop down list when you're filling out the form, so you don't have to type it out every single time. Obviously your office's name will show up quite a bit on the forms, and you can go in there and just insert that in there. You don't have to retype it. So you can put that in. If there's a common city, again a common phrase, just hit create new and add that in there. So I'll do a test, and actually the title is going to be Rochester. That's a city that we use all the time. So instead of having to type it out, I can just put it in here, and all. So I have to select the category here, and I add it, and then I can use that when I'm filling out my forms. I can insert a clause manager. It's a little pencil that shows up that you just click on, and then choose the ones that you want to insert. So that's that, and then we go to the form sets. One thing nice, if your office has them already set up, you can use their form sets. But if you have a particular situation where you use a particular form set on your own quite a bit, you can go in here and create your own form set. And basically what you're doing is you're creating a packet that you can pull up any single time, and it grabs all the forms that you want to. So there's three areas that you would add them to: listing loop, buying loop, the basic loop, which that basic loop, all that is the you do not have an address. So this would be somebody that you're signing a buyer rep with, and you have the client's info but not an address. The form loop is where you don't have a client or an address. You're just going to go in there and get the forms and print them off. So that would be a form loop. So you can add them to each one of those. So if I want to add, then all you do is you give it a name, test form set. So one time, I can't type. And you just go in here and you add the forms that go into that. So if I want the purchase agreement, type that in, and I would grab that, and I would just grab if this was a short sale packet, I would grab my short sale forms, and I would go in there, and then I would just add that. And now every time I go in to start a transaction, I can just pull up those forms automatically. Next section here, we will go to the reminders. This is kind of cool. So I don't have any in here right now, but you can add reminders based off of the date that is on a form. So you would put in, this would be maybe the closing date. So you can actually have it, if the purchase agreement